Okay, let's continue. And again, I want to make an apology to any background noise dahil talagang di natin may iwasan yan. It's Sunday. Talagang nagkakasayahan ngayon ang mga tao. So, let's first talk about the US dollar. It is a very common, siguro naman lahat alam to. Entire tayo nagpo-focus sa US dollar because most of the trades we will do, or maybe you will do another, but most of the trades I do is only revolving to these seven major currency. The US, GBP, Swiss franc, Canadian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Euro, Japanese yen, and Australian dollar. Because I don't normally trade crosses. Ang base ang mga tinitrade ko mostly revolve on USD and Japanese yen pairs. So, what is a USD, no? Pag-usapan na natin. USA is the world's largest economy, valued at nearly 20 trillion US dollar as of 2016. Ngayon, i-search nyo na lang sa trading economics kung lahat yan, no? Kung magkano ng value ng kanilang economy. It is 4 times larger than Japan, 5 times larger than Germany, and 7 times larger than UK. USA is a service-oriented economy, which means 80% of its gross domestic product output is from real estate, transportation, finance, healthcare, and business services. So what do we mean by that? Kasi naipaliwanag ko na may mga economy na nakaasa sa export, like Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. So US economy, the biggest fraction of US economy ay nakaasa sa kanilang financials o service sector. Sana nagigets nyo, no? Real estate. Kaya nga nagkaroon ng real estate bubble noong 2008 because USA is one of the, sabihin natin noon before the financial crisis, is the haven for real estate investment. Kahit hindi ka bibili ng bahay, kung gusto mo lang mag-invest sa real estate nila, you'll go to the investment bank and those investment bank will do the rest of the job to the mortgage broker. Pero hindi na natin ganong i-discuss yan. So after this kanilang real estate, transportation, of course, and finance, healthcare, and business services. Kasi US has, if I'm not mistaken, has the largest liquidity when it comes to the stock markets. Kung nasa New York, yung New York Stock Exchange, di ba? And sa Chicago, nandun yung commodity mercantile Chicago Mercantile Exchange rather sa Chicago. And USA economy, 80% of its output are service-oriented. Rather than Canada, Australia, New Zealand, which is export-oriented. The US stocks and bond market is the largest and the most liquid in the world. Kasi sila ang pinakamalaki. Because most most nation sa safe haven, nag-i-invest sila sa US securities like the bonds, bills, and notes, which are otherwise known as bonds. Saka ko na siguro i-explain kung paano ginagawa. Kasi they used to acquire US security like bond to short their own currency to make it competitive on export level. So saan na natin i-discuss yan. Okay, this accounts to 40% of global net inflows, money entering the US. And 71% of those total foreign savings are all deposited on US dollar. Kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, US dollar is the world's premier reserve currency because kung in comparison o incomparable sa kanilang market, they are known to be the one of the developed market. Ang Pilipinas at ibang bansa tinatawag tayong emerging market. Sa US, pag naisip yung mga investor ng investment, ang naiisip agad nila yung mga US related investment like US stocks, US bonds, US price commodities. Sabihin natin na the center of capitalism ay nasa United States of America. And that makes the US dollar a service-oriented nation that acting as a financials. Sa financials siya. Okay, this means that US dollar, that's a strong US dollar stance through Donald Trump is refuting a strong US dollar. Yun ang kasi it's been a decade that the every US administration support a strong dollar. Because ewan ko lang kay Donald Trump kasi ang pananaw ni Donald Trump is detrimental sa kanilang manufacturing ang strong US dollar, which is true. Dahil pag mas mataas ng value ng currency mo, nagiging least attractive ang iyong export. Pero once na bumaba ang value ng currency mo, hindi naman nagiging attractive yung financials mo. Halimbawa, ako ay nasa Japan, mag-i-invest ako sa Philippine stocks. Although nag-gain ako sa Philippine stocks, pero bumababa naman yung value ng Philippine peso, kinakain din yung gain ko sa stocks. Kasi pag ibinalik ko yan sa currency ko, mas mababa na. So ang ratio niyan is kung ano yung ratio ng pagbagsak ng currency mo sa ratio ng pagtaas ng capital gains ng investment mo doon. Because capital gains will worth nothing if the currency is plummeting. 'Di ba? Kasi kung bumabagsak yung currency, mother currency ng investment mo, kahit tumaas yung investment mo, kung bumabagsak naman ang currency, pag ipinalit mo na yan pabalik sa pera mo, babagsak din ang value. Mababa na ang value. And that makes emerging market nagsasuffer sa pagtaas ng US dollar because those dollars invested on those emerging market, tumataas yung US dollar, bumababa yung mother currency ng mga emerging market, pinupull out nila yung US dollar nila sa mga emerging market because simply nakikita ng mga investor na nag-gain nga ako pero tumataas naman masyado yung value ng US dollar, naiiwan yung emerging market. Kaya nagkakaroon ng foreign outflow. Sana naintindihan niyo, no? Okay. That means that the USD value should remain competitive in favor of the US capital market, money and the US capital, money and bond market to keep investors satisfied holding the US denominated assets. Ayun. Kaya sa lahat ng decades on most of the presidency na dumaan na sa US, they're supporting actually the strong dollar. Kasi kung ang dollar is weak, hindi magiging attractive ang kanilang financial market, ang kanilang money, stocks, bond market, pati ang commodity market nila, hindi magiging attractive yan when the value of the currency declines. Right? So, though import and export only contributes to the 12% of US GDP as of 2016, the USA has a large current account deficit and trade balance, which means the US is highly dependent on import goods for its consumption, which means US dollar is highly susceptible to shorting or selling because of its acquisition of imported goods and foreign services. Ayan. Kaya nga sabi ko, si Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Euro, sila yung mga economy na nag-e-export. Although nag-i-import din naman sila, pero US dollar is susceptible to selling. Bakit? On a daily basis, ang consumption ni US dollar ay nakaasa sa export ng ibang bansa. Most of these na things na kino-consume nila ay ini-import nila. So, pag nag-import si America, most likely, ang basic niyan, isi-sell mo yung mother currency mo and you will pay the nation on their own currency. So in return, shorting depreciates the value of the US dollar. Ang tanong, kung ganun pala, dapat pabagsak si US dollar. Nag-act na balancer, nagiging balance yan dahil sa kanilang financials. Although yung consumption nila o yung import nila is depreciative, nag-decline o sabihin nating nagde-depreciate sa value yung trade deficit nila, which is ibig sabihin nun is mas lamang ang ini-import nila kaysa ini-export nila, dapat nga pabagsak yung currency. Pero dahil ang US market ang pinaka-attractive na market sa mga investor because the US stock bond market and commodity market, kahit yung capital market at money market nila are the most liquid and is the most credible sa buong mundo, 'di ba? Sa US market. So, kahit lumalabas ang pera nila, yung perang pumapasok sa financial act as a balancer para hindi malaglag yung value ng US dollar. Ganun yun. Kasi all commodities, not all, but most commodities are priced in US dollar. Ibig sabihin, oil, kahit ano pa yan, gold, copper, platinum, palladium, bronze, they are paid in US dollar. That means they are shorting US dollar. Because you cannot, ibig sabihin nun, depreciative sa value. Ewan ko, siguro naman nagigets nyo na yung shorting, no? Which is mean selling, at yung buying, which is mean pagbili o pag-appreciate ng value. Kasi when you short a currency, the value of the currency fall. When you sell a currency. And inverse, if you buy a currency, the value of the currency appreciates if there's a demand on the currency. So, kasi magiging tanong diyan kung lagi pa lang sino-short ang US dollar to accumulate those imports and those commodities at saka doon pa sa mga pinambabayad kasi ang US dollars in the world reserve, as a world reserve, dapat pabagsak yan. Kasi nga, uulitin ko, the US financial market is the most stable, liquid, and credible, one of the most credible market in the world. Kaya, nagiging balancer yon. Tanggalin mo yung financials, talagang babagsak yung USD. Pero ilagay mo yung financials, nagkakaroon ng deadlock dun sa dalawa. Okay, in order to stabilize the USD from devaluation, and that is the correct word, devaluation, the US is strong and well-established stock, bond, and futures market acts as a balancer. Okay, tama yan yung sinabi ko. So, key points. Over 80% of all currency deals involve the dollar. Currency deals, no? Conversion, hedging, and trade settlement. US dollar is considered as the world's premier reserve currency and also a safe haven currency that holds 76% of global currency reserve. Ayun. Balikan natin, no? Para ma-stabilize ang value ng USD from devaluation, bakit? Ba't nagde-devaluate? Kasi ginagamit siya 80% most of the time sa currency deals, no? At sa conversion, sa hedging at trade settlement. So US dollar, in contrast to the commodity currency, siya yung ginagawang pambayad to acquire the commodity, which in turn nagde-devaluate sa USD. Pero sabi ko nga uulitin ko, dahil sa strong and well-established ang kanilang financial market, yun naman ang nag-create ng demand sa US dollar. And as well as most nation hold US dollar as a currency reserve and considered as the world's premier currency. So ito yung ating currency profile, brief currency profile sa US economy. Sana naintindihan nyo at malinaw. Sa next, i-tackle natin yung Euro at Great British Pound.